Greetings, everybody. We have returned from our quick little break here to continue this fun little adventure of our evening.
Yeah, apparently we're going to continue to cock tease Mr. Fisk and not show you the kitty right now.
That combination of
I don't
words.
even know where she is. She ran away.
Apparently, Justin thinks the cat is definitely neon green.
It's possible.
Mr. Fisk is not sure if he's ever seen a Canadian cat. And then Justin made some joke about vaginas.
Dirty.
There it is.
Canadian ones, to be specific.
That's why it's dirty.
Would it be clean, though?
I'm telling Meg.
Just going to say to Paul, don't think about it too hard.
I was going to say, Joe and I travel in different circles. Jesus.
There's less meaning to that than you think. Don't worry about it. On that note, yes.
Questions?
I'm going to be out of drink. Yeah, sure, why not?
First question of the night. How many knives do you think Dennis Vipers will buy this year? Guess who came up with the question this week?
Hey, it's a valid question, man. If you've watched the channel for any amount of time, you know I buy a ridiculous amount of knives sometimes. So
sometimes.
Mr. Fisk has a question, so ask it so I can get an answer. What were you saying, Joe?
I was just going to say, hasn't the yearly average for Dennis's knife buying, like sheer quantity, hasn't that been going up since he started working? Like every year you buy more and more? Or has there been a year or two where you've been
it's up and down, it's up and down, it's up and down.
Have you ever bought more than you did last year?
No.
Has there ever been so much available that you've really wanted to get, though? Like, I know there was a lot of stuff you really wanted to get your hands on this year, or last year, 2019.
Oh, dude, if I had have been in a better place, both with the companies I was dealing with at the time, as well as like financially and like for myself, and not like there I can see my spending out being really crazy. There were some years where there was some fancy stuff that came out.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could afford to get them all the same year they came out, instead of having to wait over the course of 2 or 3 years to accumulate what had come out that year, that was super cool. Dennis could have been a broke boy, right? Like it's so.
Yep.
So the question that Mr. Fisk wanted to ask was, where's the freaking cat?
She's over there. I can see her from here.
Stay tuned. You'll find out soon.
Terrible. Terrible.
It's not a cat, it's a rat in a wig. Yeah.
Matt's leaving because of you.
I'll be back.
I don't know if I believe it, but no cat, no Matt. Kiefer, the first response we got for the week was from Kiefer, and he said he only has 10 fingers. Sorry. And I feel like the sorry was a jab at us Canadians. So, yeah.
Hey.
You also should have 10 toes, so you could have counted on those.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little pointer, a little tip.
I think I've exceeded that number already. I think.
Have you bought more than 20? Yeah, that's probably true. More than 10?
At least 10. I don't know about 20. I don't know yet. It's got to be pretty close.
He's got to go through his receipts, take a tally.
I do actually have to go back to see what I bought, and then look at the things I bought from like used or online or whatever type of thing. Because Maybe over 20. I didn't do homework on this question. I just spouted it.
Oh, yeah.
Aw, we did just lose a viewer. Matt actually left.
Oh,
I was waiting for it. My heart. On that note, Matt's response, Mr. Fisk, says the number 47, which, as far as last year goes, that's probably the most accurate guess that we got this week.
47. I don't think I'm going to crack last year's. I don't think I'm going to beat those numbers.
Probably not.
Yeah.
It's August already, and I don't know if I've cracked quite 20 yet. So
that's fair.
It could be 20 hit or miss. I'm probably underestimating what I've bought this year. But
Probably.
You did last year. Because didn't you start at around, I think I bought about 20. No, wait, it's 25. No, wait.
I bought
32.
3 less than a month ago, so there's that.
Yeah.
I bought 2 this week. And I'm not buying knives right now. Like,
how's that working out for you, man?
Not great. Not great at all. Anybody wants to do that intervention? Anytime. It's super helpful.
You can't really hold an intervention.
I don't know how many knives I bought. Anyway.
Nick M89 said, random guess, 7. You're wrong. You're wrong on so many levels.
You're already
definitely wrong.
Yeah. I have more than 7 probably sitting in front of me right now that I bought.
It's probably an easy thing to say that Dennis is going to buy at least a knife a month, like at a bare minimum. I can't see the rate being lower than that.
Yeah, I'd say that's a fair argument.
Yeah, on a slow year, that's going to be 12 knives, probably. Like, it's maybe early on when I was collecting, like that's a decade ago.
Yeah.
But I was maybe only buying a couple, like maybe 5 or 6 type of thing. But
we got a drink because Dennis is talking about his knife collection in front of him.
There's so many right here. Drink again.
Thank you, Ben. We appreciate you keeping us on task there.
Yeah.
On brand. There was something I was going to mention earlier that I forgot about until right this second. This is a thing you definitely don't want to do if you actually want to get your answers read on the Pokey Factor. We had somebody, I'm not going to mention their name because that would be the exact opposite of the point of this, went through every single question and just said hi. So hi, but don't. It's not
Paul, you have single-handedly guaranteed that at least Mr. Fisk and probably 4 to 5 others are going to do this. So
don't. No. Stop.
Hey! Stop it. Stop.
No.
Stop.
Where's that gif of bugs? No.
On that note, we got a response from Javo Design.
Jared. Good
Very
stuff.
nice.
Good stuff.
I think Jared's got his fingers crossed on this one because he knows that you like some of his designs. He said 1,000. So he's
I
just
think Jared knows me too well, and he's just like, I don't know, all the knives. He's just going to buy all of the knives that come out.
We get to that answer later. Gear in situ said 20.
That is hovering around, but it's only August. So I don't know. I'll do a count, and hopefully by next week I'll actually have a number, so you can stay tuned for that one for sure.
Indeed. And now that when I first read it, I did not take this answer particularly seriously. I thought that Blaine should know you better. But after the conversation that we've had, I think he knows you pretty well. He said 12 at a minimum, which one a month.
Yep.
Okay, see, the problem is I've bought 5 this month.
Yes.
That's a pretty
Maybe
hop,
more. I don't know.
that's
Give me a second.
pretty hopping
That's
month for
Oh,
you, though.
totally more. Totally more. We just bought the denim micarta QSP.
Yeah, we did.
So 6 at least this month.
Jeebus.
Also, Stone Wookie, Darren in chat, said all of them. So, like I said, we'd get to that answer.
Okay, for the record, Sierra KT makes knives. So no, I'm just kidding. So definitely not all of them. Like that's like high hope, man. High hope. I'm not taking an Nara home.
You're not going to take
No.
this guy either, are you? Because it's
I
tipped
would
down.
think about the Cholado for sure.
It's classy.
Yeah. I like it, even for Croup Steel. It's nice. And tipped down, yeah. I'm a fan.
I'm thinking like offhand carry, front left.
Vest pocket all the way.
Yep.
Because
Right
all the
there.
vests that I wear.
Well, this guy
Or more
sits.
vests.
This guy sits inside my jacket most times. I mean, this would fit in its place just as easily.
Can I put it in a boot?
It's a pretty thin space
Can I
between
wave
the clip.
Can I
Can
wave
you
it
Emerson
off?
wave it?
You
It's
can.
tipped down, so no.
You
You
can
can
wave it.
it off your pocket if you put it in the other way around. If you drilled a hole for the pocket clip the other way around, it's totally waveable. That's the only argument that I have for it being tip down or tip up, I should say.
And did we actually lose Mr. Fisk?
We have 7 viewers again. We had dropped down to 6, so hopefully Mr. Fisk is back. Is
It's
the
a-
cat
I
nearby?
was gonna say,
It's a scare
if
talk.
he is back, the cat's right there. If he wants, I'll go get the cat. I know
Get
it was
the
fun and games, blah blah blah. But
Get the cat. Mr. Fisk, are
we'll
you
wait
back?
till he confirms that he's back. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. And the last answer to this question that we got was from Black Frost 693. Matt said 37, which again is a decent friggin' answer because
Yep.
you're probably not that far off from 37.
Now I got a number to shoot for.
1,000.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Other
Mr.
than
Fisk
all
hasn't
of them.
answered. Mr. Fisk hasn't answered, but Darren said, "Get the cat." I'm actually going to send Mr. Fisk a message on Instagram right now. Just to let him know that we're getting the cat.
What
So
has the show become?
nonsense.
It's all about kitties.
Just looking out the window at squirrels.
We're getting the cat.
Now,
Kitty!
It's a cute kitty.
She's
As you can see, extremely neon green.
Yeah.
Yep. Crumples.
It's such a mush.
Oh,
she's a cute cat. She's a
so,
cute
Yeah.
cat.
so cute.
Her nickname is Crumples because you go to pet her and she'll just crumple up to the floor and just like, yes, love.
You think
Just
she's
like that.
You think she's like attention starved or something, but just nope. Just really loves cuddles.
No. All day. All day.
She's a
This is
puddle.
what she wants.
So
She's a puddle.
cute.
You need to keep her in your lap tactically, so when Mr. Fisk does show back up, you can just be like, "Ha, cat."
Tactical kitty pack. Could you
Um,
keep it in a Kydex sheath?
Justin is saying it is small, and it is very small.
She's a cute little one, yes.
She's wee. She's wee.
I think the term is subcompact.
So, based off of that, I think Mr. Fisk is actually gone because there was no response in chat.
That's hilarious.
No response to my
Oh no.
message. He missed out. He's gonna have to watch this episode.
Yeah.
At least part 2. That's the weak one in the chain anyway. So it's
Yeah, we don't get really screwy until later.
Yeah, the piss on it doesn't make her reappearance until third episode.
Reappearance.
We talked about it in episode 1. We'll talk about it in episode 3.
Talking about
and
it. Yeah,
we're
okay.
going to talk about it in episode 2 because I just did.
Okay, anytime somebody brings up the piss sauna, you have to drink. That's
What? Drink what?
Drink whatever you want, Dennis.
Whatever it
I've
is, it's going to smell like maple
I've
syrup.
got Corona here.
I said you got piss right there. No, I actually
Yeah.
I actually like Corona, but
And it does not taste like maple syrup.
no.
Probably for the best.
On
The next question that we had this week was, do you sell knives to finance your next knife purchase?
Hang on a sec.
Right, we didn't talk
I
about
didn't
it.
get
We didn't give an answer.
what?
We didn't
You
talk about
guys didn't give an answer.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Just cut that part out, throw it away.
Yeah.
Nah. I'm sure Nigel's gonna leave it in.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's a good chance, yeah.
For what it's worth, the answer is yes. You're gonna buy as many knives as are offered to you that you're interested in. I'm gonna think.
Yes.
I think you could reach 45 pretty easily. Given what's going on right now, enough people in the knife world who know that you're interested in picking up knives. Maybe they want to sell you stuff because it's been slow at work and they need some extra cash floating around. I think you could start to see some more opportunities to buy used knives. But as far as like what's being released right now, I don't really know what's on your radar. So
2 hours later.
it feels conservative to say like 45, but I feel like around about 45.
There's been more knife
Joe said
purchases.
one thing there. Joe said one thing.
Yeah, exactly. But I wanted to explain my reasoning. Why not just giving you a number, but why the number?
Yeah, no. Based off of the knives that you have bought this year and the price point of said knives and the price point of some knives that we've talked about you potentially wanting to buy, I can see the number being reduced, but the dollar value amount being about the same as last year.
So probably an increased average in dollar value per knife.
Well, between the Pena Rhino and the Sabenza that he wants to buy, and
Sabenza probably won't happen in 2020. I got to be honest, because it's going to be on a reorder because I still want a right-hand frame lock, but I want a dual thumbstick.
You've got to.
So I'm going to have to special request that one.
Yeah.
Well, and they have it as an option. It's a little more expensive, but they have it as an option. So yeah.
But I mean, you actually have to say, I want one of these for this reason, not just it's in the shop and I'll buy one of those.
What's your opinion on the lock bar action on the new 31s?
Meh. I'm no Mr. Fisk about it.
Trying not to laugh at him too hard about that, but yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. Yes, you can flex it. Would I like a 21? Yeah, the chance of me finding the right version of a 21 for me is probably going to be harder than me just getting a 31 with my specifications.
Probably.
Because I'm a big bitch as a lefty, right? So
I would argue...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I would argue that it's probably best to go with a new Sabenza anyway, because apparently they're closer to 60 Rockwell now than they have been in the past. So that's always good. And honestly, the lock bar flex that I've seen, you've really got to reef hard on that in order for that to happen. I actually really like the smoothness of the new 31s quite a bit. I don't know if I like it more.
Up the first
But, yeah.
when this conversation came up the first time about titanium frame locks, I took all of mine and I put the blade into a piece of wood and I flexed it afterwards. And every single one of my frame locks can flex that way. If I make a really conscious effort to want to make them flex that way.
Yeah.
But few and far between do I ever get to the point where the knife is not doing its job before the knife decides to flex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So short of a giant piece of wood, which is not what I should be using my folder for in the first place, and feather sticking and whatever type of thing, even with a folder and a titanium frame lock, the material will give way before the knife does for my tasks. So I don't care.
And this
Right?
is all also acknowledging the fact that the blade is moving towards the stop pin during use. So the chances of you actually encountering this particular problem is pretty minimal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was going to say, there's also the fact that I don't worry so much about the blade going in this direction, because when I'm cutting things, I'm putting force in the opposite direction. So unless I'm doing something with a knife that I shouldn't be doing, it's probably never going to be an issue. I also don't hard use my knives to the point where I have to worry about them failing, usually. That's not usually what I'm using my folders for. I usually have a fixed blade for that.
Yeah, and I mean, there's always the option to carry something a little bit more heavy duty if you know that you're going to be doing some stupid crap with a folding knife. There's options.
I've
just an opportunity to put
tested
that on the
some-
camera for just because
That's
I wanted to. Just because I wanted to put that on camera.
The old school Lone Wolf that you picked up?
Yeah, that orange is super crazy bright on camera. God damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the
There's a
most
cat in my lap
minded
again.
skinning knife. It's very like TDI,
Yeah.
but that's off topic. So it's over there now.
So getting back on topic,
Mhm.
I think Dennis is going to buy 35 to 40 knives, but depending on any deals from secondary market and depending on what shows up in there, it might push over 40.
I don't think it's going to be over 40 this year. I really don't. I
That's
might
why I
surprise
said it's
myself. Yeah.
when this shows up of people trying to sell off everything. But other than that, I think it's going to be below 40, yeah.
Yeah. It's all very dependent on what deals fall into your lap.
Mm-hmm.
Justin saying, "Who cares about knives? There's a cat."
The man.
Apparently, we're going to change our reviews, change our channel completely, and see where that takes us.
Nah,
I'm going to make
Cedric and
so
Ada
many
has that.
SPCA people mad.
I was gonna say Cedric and Ada has that market cornered as far as cat reviews go. So I don't think we have a shot.
Are you kidding me? Ebony's adorable.
Oh, it's not about how adorable the cat is. It's can you talk about that cat for 15, 20 minutes?
Easily.
The worst part is I would thoroughly enjoy doing that. And
Do you think she would stay on the table long enough for us to do a review?
if you keep
As long as you were
keep petting
her
her.
belly, she would stay there for a half an hour, dude. Like, it's...
Plans for a future episode. I don't want to say it, but I do want to say it.
You gotta.
But I don't. I'm sure it's super annoying hearing it every week 37 million times when you're trying to edit videos and stuff. But on that note,
had a
now
feeling.
it's just a game to me.
You're like Robin on How I Met Your Mother. When she found out Badum was a game, taught all those college students a lesson.
But
What can I tell you? Do you sell knives to finance your next knife purchase? Or are you a collector who keeps everything you buy? I forgot about this answer. Wayne Bailey 96 says yes, sir. So
Wow, that's an
I
empty.
approve the answer. I really do.
On the one hand, I'm like, that's a really empty calorie statement, but on the other hand, fantastic. I agree, 100%.
Yeah, it really sums up a lot of nice buyers. It really does.
that's the right way to do an amusing kind of nonsense answer.
Yeah.
I've
been known to do both of those things. Like
it's exactly right. Knife Collie said that's called knife collection rotation, and sometimes it's a necessity.
Yep. There's
Me and
guys
Dennis are nodding in opposite directions.
There's guys out there who have been collecting for like 30, 40 plus years, and their collections are massive. Like, I'm talking huge Tupperware containers of random ass blades. And like, I've seen like on blade forums, there will be a thread of like, yeah, I'm dumping like this. I want to empty this container so I can fill it with new stuff that I'm interested in. It's like, holy shit. Like, okay. Like, discontinued Gerbers, like ancient Kershaws and stuff. Man, I don't know if I could do that. I'm too much of a hoarder. There we go.
Cutlery Lover seems to do stuff like that, where he'll sell a collection.
Reviewers, I think, in general, tend to cycle through stuff a little bit more quickly than the average knife buyer.
That's it.
Shabazz did a video recently about things he owns as a reviewer that he would not own if he wasn't a reviewer. Like, it's just ridiculous things that he keeps around just as reference points and whatnot type of thing, right? So
it was a fun video.
Definitely in the knife review world, I can see people having abnormal collections and large collections because of the reference world, right? So
yeah.
Oh, definitely. That's why you have your knife collection, right, Dennis?
Of course, it's a reference. It's a reference to everything that I like.
Kiefer said, I sell some if I have to, and then he's got a bunch of happy faces, but they seem to be sweating. Sweating happy face.
I get it.
Yeah. Unsurprisingly, Mr. Fisk says sell. And I only say unsurprisingly because if you follow his Instagram channel or page at all, it's fairly common for something to come into his collection, him to get a little bit of a feel for it, see how he likes it, and then continue on out of his collection.
Mhm.
That I would.
The other thing with that, I find in my own EDC rotation, there is things that go on the chopping block that if I know someone who wants it, like whatever it is, whether it's the North Fork that might be looking at an axe, or whether it's like an AWT grip that it's like been sitting there for a while. I don't use it as much, blah blah blah. I'm just saying, I can understand getting to the point of being like, okay, I have too many EDC knives. And if it's a collectible, you retire it, you whatever, right? But
yeah, I'll give you that. On the flip side of things, we have Nigel over here that had the collectibles and then they came into the EDC rotation.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really buy things to sell.
Yeah. Nick M is kind of in the same boat where he said he's kept everything so far. Same as EDC Lovers Pakistan. He said he keeps everything.
Mhm.
The Finest Tradition said that he will sell to buy new and keep the collection fresh, which if your knives aren't fresh, wash them first of all.
No, that'll devalue them. It might even void the warranty.
Do it carefully. Be better, Joe.
I'm just being a smartass. Don't worry about it.
No, I know.
Is it like sports with like the playoff don't wash your jock type of like thing?
Don't.
It's like the jujitsu don't wash your belt thing. If your opponent passes out from the stench, that means you automatically win, right?
Well, they're on the floor and I'm not, so sure. I guess.
Oh, hey. Almost dropped the Pokey phone. Matt Hoff was kind of basically saying the same thing you were saying there, Dennis. I sell them if I don't carry them, so sometimes I do sell them, just finance another, but it's as I see fit on carrying them or not. Apparently, I'm talking directly in Matt Hoff's voice, but I feel like after the photo that I took yesterday on Instagram, where I copied his image, but changed it a little bit, I'm allowed to talk in his voice. So there.
How does he feel about that?
I don't know. He liked the photo.
You'll get a letter from his lawyers. It's fine.
Yeah, there you go. It depends. If I just read what he said and continue that thought, I might be okay. Ahsoka Edge said, sell to finance others, tastes and desires change over time. Which, that might be the thing for me. I think maybe because of the fact that I'm fairly new to the whole collecting thing, it's only been in the last 5 years or so that I've really started buying a lot of higher end things.
Mhm.
I haven't hit the point where I want to get rid of stuff because every time I get rid of something, it makes me sad and I wish that I had it back.
Yep.
And I mean that by the one knife that I sold, that I'm sad that I sold and I want it back.
Hey, once is enough.
2 knives now. 2 knives. You sold 2 knives.
I guess I sold one to you too, didn't I? I also
You
sold.
sold 3 knives.
I sold the.
You mean one to me?
Huh?
ZT to Morgan, the essential.
Corbin. What did you sell to me?
The essential I didn't sell though. I traded him,
Yeah.
which still makes me sad. It still makes me sad that it's gone. The proper doesn't really make me sad because I never carried the proper, so I didn't miss it. I carried the 850. I carried the essential. I did carry the SOG Snarl, and I don't miss that knife at all.
As you shouldn't.
I'm just glad that somebody found it and appreciated it and was willing to take it off my hands for at a reasonable amount of money. That was probably more than I would have asked him for if he hadn't offered me money in the first place. He doesn't watch us, right? He doesn't. Gear in situ said collector / gifter. Actually, he said giftor, gifter, ? And then gift giver with a hyphen. So I think he was trying to figure out how to pronounce gifter.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And that's actually the thing that I found the most is knives that I don't carry in my collection. If I find somebody that I think will like it, it just becomes a gift to them.
Yeah.
If they will appreciate it. Especially with something that I've carried for a while.
I've done that a couple times where people just like it and I'm like, it's yours type of thing, right? So, yeah.
That's it. I almost gave away my Frenzy last Christmas. Because, I carried a Frenzy to my friend's Christmas party. But they really liked it. And I was just like, just take it. Like, I can get another one if I need to. If you like it, just have it. And then they didn't take it. If you go and see that photo that I took.
Cool story, bro.
Stone Wookie said, keep everything. Mean person. We're getting fairly close to our next break, right?
Yep. We're getting there. We got about 5-6 minutes.
Let's fill that 5 to 6 minutes with random Garbo because we have one last question and it'll be a good way to start the next one with.
Sounds good. I'll tell you that I tend to keep everything I buy when it comes to knives. I will occasionally give things to people if they express interest, but that is such a rare occurrence that I don't really factor it in. I can't think of a time I've once bought a knife and thought, I can't wait to see if I can sell this later. Joking, obviously, but I've never thought that I was going to turn around and sell a knife, and I don't think I've actually done that out of my collection that I buy for myself.
So two things I just realized for development wise, because of the like not thought about selling them or trading them, but we have actually put some stuff on the chopping block for giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, things that you're like, you know what? Yeah, this is something that I don't necessarily use anymore. Again, tastes have evolved, things like that, that we can maybe gift to someone that could probably appreciate it more and enjoy it. And I'm just saying, whoever wins the Spartan, I want to see batoning videos. I really do. If you get it for free, I want you to beat the fuck out of that Spartan.
Just take off the thumb plate.
It's not actually this Spartan. This is my Spartan. And I'm keeping my Spartan.
It's my Spartan. I actually don't
you're
have
getting
it
my
here,
mini
but...
Spartan.
What was it? Was it Advanced Knife Bro who broke the thumb plate on his Spartan by batoning it?
I think it was either that or the Raja. I can't remember what video he done. Yeah.
So if you do video yourself batoning, or even if you don't video yourself batoning the Spartan, just take off the thumb plate. It's a T6.
There you go. Darren saying in chat, me, I want the Spartan. Double resubscribed.
Well, right now you got a chance.
Yeah. You got a 50% chance right now. Unless somebody
right now,
wants to
he's going to win both prizes. I think Mr. Fisk unsubscribed for life.
He has not been back in chat since.
Yeah, kind of sad.
Stubborn about that whole cat thing.
Yeah, he was fucking serious about that.
We have been talking on a regular basis about me getting a cat, and every time that I talk to him, he's like, just get a cat. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get a cat soon. I'm not ready for a cat yet, but soon. Soon.
I was a dog person my whole life until I met Luna. And then she turned me into a cat person. And now I am forever a cat person. But I still like dogs. They're cool.
So loud. I love it.
And I'm assuming that nobody's asking in chat what happened here because of the fact that I have a photo up on Instagram. But apparently it's possible to stab yourself with an axe. And I succeeded at doing that.
Yeah. Takes a lot of talent, a lot of natural born ability.
It's a big brain move.
Yeah. A cat is just
so how about for some of the randomness to fill some time? I'm going to plug myself.
There you go. And he's going to show off his knives.
Yeah.
Dirty.
Got another batch of these guys nearing the end.
I'm
cool
really
scar, bro. Cool scar.
I'm really liking those little
those
handles
are sexy as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pleased with these guys. They're definitely going to be a very regular production for me.
Hell yeah.
What were you going to say, Paul?
Those things. That I like them. That I appreciate just how good those knives look.
Here, Nigel, speak for a moment so it'll focus on you.
For sure. Yeah, I'm also very pleased with the bevels I got on these guys.
Very nice and consistent.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
What steel are those rocking?
These ones are in 1095.
Nice.
And I love the chatoyancy at the end of the blue one.
I just like the word chatoyance.
That too. Yeah, I had to use it.
And it's not really a plug because it's not for sale, but I'm making a thing. I'm gonna make myself a little carving knife, and I finally have the tempered blade back, so I'm gonna start working on that and get it all glued up. And officially, that will be the actual first blade that I've ever made. Actually made. And I actually, with Nigel's help, pounded this out on the anvil. So that was
Yeah, you did.
It. I can't believe it survived all the things to this point. I'm so close to it being done and not screwing it up. So now, of course, knock on wood, I will screw it up. But
It's kind of terrifying, isn't it? Your first time being there and just knowing that,
well,
hey,
yeah. But
think of all the hours
like
you've
it.
sunk into it. It's
And
looking really cool.
It's really hard to see, but if you hit the blue resin in the center here, the little bolster area, it is actually a glow resin that I got from Nigel when he made the handle for my ferro rod. Well, made the blank for the handle for my ferro rod.
And all three of these little guys do glow as well.
Nice.
Forgot to mention that. I like the glow powder.
There, I'll use up our last minute here before break. I'll shamelessly plug myself as well. I've been working on friction folders for too long now, and they're almost ready for sale. I'm gonna have more of an official announcement at the end of the month, but these are pretty much good to go. I just need some more materials to show up at my door. So, G10 handles. I'm using 20 CV for the blade steel. I'm pretty happy with how the grind is coming out and the surface finish. And I've
20 CV, you say?
20 CV. Those are my initials.
And
well,
grind,
that's
you
come
say?
a long way.
Well, this is actually ground. It's milled, but then I grind it after the fact. I'm not making shit up. I actually do. That is the way I'm doing it. It is a friction folder.
Hollow mill?
Maybe later. Maybe I'll do a hollow version. But this guy, I'll try to get to focus here. There's no lock or anything, just a little friction folder. There's a little bit of a stiff detent here that you need to pop before you can roll it open. Yeah, I'm super happy with how these are coming out and anxious to start.
Did you mill a detent into that?
It's actually the way that this hook interfaces with this pin. So there's this guy here. So there's just enough friction that it pops into place and then it'll pop back out.
So a little bit of a detent, but not like a detent ball.
Yeah, it's not a mechanically separate detent. It is a friction fit because it's a friction folder. I thought it'd be kind of fitting.
Yeah.
It's genuinely one of my favorite parts. The newest edition. The first time that I popped it off that little stop pin, it kind of surprised me, and it felt good.
Mm-hmm. The reason why I wanted to include that was I haven't had this open in my pocket accidentally in versions prior, but it was in the back of my head where the earlier ones you could kind of slide it open, and I just didn't want to run the risk of someone cutting themselves, sticking their hands into their pocket. Anyway, that's enough.
So, so what steel is on the stop pin?
They're hardened. It's either 18-8 stainless or it's 416 stainless. I had two different versions of stainless steel I was using for the standoff, but it is hardened.
Hardened to a
factory hardened to I think a 35 or 38. I think was the range.
I'm just curious. Yeah.
No. These are good questions.
You said you're good wear resistance, blah 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 type of thing, right?
It's a similar kind of hardness you want in, say, a stainless steel liner lock. You don't want it to be, you want there to be a little bit of a difference in hardness. Anyway, that's enough plugging away for now because we're into the timing for our break.
And Joe's done showing off his knife.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll get on to our little break here and let all those plugs settle in with everyone here. And take a break and do what you need to do. We will be back shortly.